Hello guys, and welcome to another installment in the Red Shadow's Favorite Games. Now, in my last installment, where I covered World of Warcraft, I mentioned that I was probably doing one more PC-based installment before I hit onto consoles. Well, I'm changing that up, and I will be covering my first console game in this one. The other game that I wanted to touch on, I kind of want to go back and play it again and kind of get re-immersed and refresh my mind about it. The console game that I'm covering today, as you've seen in the title, is Dog's Life. This is Dog's Life. This is a silly, fun, lighthearted kind of game that I don't know that you could really make up that something like this could not only be fun, but it could rank on somebody's favorite games list. But Dog's Life does. Dog's Life is it's a game from a company called Hip Games, and this is a budget title for the PlayStation 2, but it's worth every penny that I paid for it twice now, because I bought it new when it first came out, and this is a copy that I bought about 2 years ago after I had gotten rid of it from my collection. But it's worth it. It's worth having in my collection for me. And I'll tell you a little bit about it, so maybe you can decide if it's something that would be worth it for you. So I first discovered this game in a preview in some video game magazine. Now, I racked my brain trying to remember what magazine it was. I searched through my PSMs and my Game Informers from around the time that this game came out. I believe this game came out in 2000, according to the cases, 2004. So somewhere around in 2003 or 2004, some magazine that I was subscribed to at the time, or that I bought on a whim, had a preview for this game that at first it just looked like whatever. You know, it's a game where you run around as a dog, big deal. But the more I looked at the article and read through it and looked at the pictures, the screenshots that they showed, I started to get a little intrigued. So I read the preview about it, and it said you were going to play as a dog and you were going to explore around his farm and around the world in the game, and you were going to go on an adventure or a little quest to save some female dog that your character is interested in. And I thought, okay, well, that's different, but there had to be a hook for me. Well, there was a hook for me. There was a picture that showed the dog on top of a cop car taking a dump. That was all that I needed. In the game, your dog can both pee and poo on things at will. Although it is kind of funny, he will poop on something, and then if you do the same controls to poop again, he'll just fart. I'm sure this is sounding much, very, very much like a game that everybody wants to have. But you have to eat food for him to be able to poop the next time, and it's silly, but it's funny. I don't know. You just have to experience it to understand why that is just such a fun thing to do. The story of the game, essentially, I don't want to spoil too much of it, but the basic plot is that you play as the dog named Jake, pictured here on the front, and this female dog on the farm where he lives, named Daisy, gets captured by these two dog catcher types right here, the big dumb oaf. Well, actually, there's only the one dog catcher there, and then there's his boss, this lady, but there's two dog catchers. They capture Daisy and take her to the city, with the intent of her being made into cat food by this lady here on the cover. She owns a cat food company. She's a cat person, and she wants to, for some reason, take dogs, kill them, mulch them up into cat food, and have the cats eat them. Whatever. It's a budget title, so it has a budget story. But once you take control of this dog, it's a whole lot of fun. You can run around in third-person mode, and your dog can run, and he can bark, and he can chase after other little animals. He can pick up stuff in his mouth like sticks and whatnot. He can even pick up his poo, and he can throw it at people. And some of the NPCs will react to that. They will also react if you pee or poop right in front of them. And it's strange. In some ways, the game takes on a somewhat Tony Hawk-like aspect in that NPCs will give you things to do, and you have to go do them, and sometimes it's like fetch quests. But you can also go into a first-person mode that's called Smell-O-Vision, and it allows your dog to be able to look around at the world and see scents as colored puffs of smoke. And depending on the color of smoke that they are, you run up to them and acquire them, and different things happen. Sometimes they unlock a mini game. Sometimes finding so many of them just allows you to get a bone. And the bones are important because you'll need a certain amount of bones to progress into the next part of the level. As I mentioned before, the game starts you out on the farm where Jake lives with his human family and Daisy and other farm animals. And you explore in the farmlands, and you go to other farms, and you perform all these little missions, fetch quests, the Smell-O-Vision stuff, and eventually you'll get so many bones that you can go to the next world or area or whatever you want to call it, which is based around a ski resort. So you go from farmlands to now you're at a ski resort. You're in a snow-covered mountain top area with skiers and an ice skating rink and all kinds of stuff like that. And once you progress through that and get all your bones, then you go to the big city, and that's where the lady with her heinous plans is stationed. And once you get enough bones to go to where her cat food making plant, which if I remember right, my memory is a little hazy on this, even though I played the game like the year before last, but I think she has what looks like a haunted mansion, that's the setting. But once you go inside, it's like a plant where they're getting ready to turn Daisy into cat food. And that's your final battle, is to retrieve her from this and stop the evil cat food lady from killing Daisy. It's silly. I don't really know what else to say. I should have looked to see if there were any Let's Plays of this on YouTube. But look it up if you're interested. Look up Dog's Life on YouTube. See if somebody's played it and put it on that website. See if it'd be something for you. But as I remember it, like I said, this was a budget title that I had to get at Best Buy because Walmart didn't carry it when it came out. But I only paid $20 for it brand new. When I bought this, I think I paid somewhere between $15 and $20 for this used copy that's, complete copy. So it's not very expensive. Maybe you're buying a lot of PS2 games. Maybe you want something silly for your kids, although I'm just now noticing it's rated T for teen for crude humor. Jake is kind of an arrogant, cocky little dog with a lot of sassy one-liners and comments for people around him, but there's nothing in it that's bad. There's no violence, so to speak. There's no blood. There's no language of any kind. I did notice here on the back of the game it says, so you can play fetch, sniff out food, chase chickens, and explore your world doggy style. So there's the humor. Dogs that can poop, doggy style, ha ha ha. Anyway, I love the game. I've had countless hours worth of fun times with it, and it's on my list because it's a whole lot of fun. Every once in a while you get a gem when you buy a budget title or something really obscure and bizarre. So that's why I like Dog's Life. It's just a good time. It's a good pick up and play style game. And hopefully somebody out there might give it a shot and ends up really, really liking it because they saw this video. But if not, just be like, whatever, Dog's Life, who cares? Alright guys, well thanks a lot for watching this video. More of these to come soon. Appreciate you taking the time to listen to me babble about games, and I'll come back to babble some more next time.